Hey, this is a Lost Hiker. Some of you guys have been asking about my elevated seat that I'd done with my ride. The reason my ride's hanging up on the wall sideways is it's not quite ready to fish here in Kentucky just yet, but give it just a couple more weeks, and actually some guys may already be out where things are thawing, but for me it's going to be a few more weeks. But anyhow, the ride's hanging on the wall for now. I'm not going to get it down until I start fishing here soon. But anyhow, I had made a comment about possibly getting one of the new Max seats. I'm going to pick up one of the elevated seats this week just to see how I like it. I had previously been using my little custom-made platform to raise my low seat up a few inches. If you'll notice the way it's sitting there, it's hanging maybe, I'd say probably about 3 inches to somewhere between 3 and 4 inches higher than the stock location for a low seat. So it's not quite as high as the elevated seat. I'll be able to confirm that later this week once I pick up the other seat. But anyhow, I've been using this for about a season now, and most of the time I paddle it in the elevated position with the platform in. I very, very rarely put it in the low position. The only time I do that is if I'm on, moving water like the Elkhorn Creek or something, class 1, class 2 stuff where, stability might be an issue. But really, I've gotten so used to paddling this boat in the elevated seat that even creeks like that, I'm not really concerned about it anymore, which is why I'm going to go ahead and go to an elevated seat after this. But if you guys don't want to spend any money, here it is. So basically, you'll see, I've got my seat mounted here. How I've got it mounted, lift this up. I cut 2 slots right there in the front, just behind where that bungee goes across. I can run a 1-inch NRS strap through. I'm using a 6-foot strap. Basically, I got it crossed under the platform right there. If you look around the back here, you'll see where it comes out of the holes that are already there. And that keeps it pretty solid. Doesn't really move a whole lot. It actually, I kind of like the way it has a little bit of movement in it, so I can pivot a little bit, so I can turn and stuff. It's not a real static setup, but it's still secure enough that I feel completely comfortable with it on the water. It's not going to move around too much or cause a sudden shift or anything. So, I like the way it's set up. Anyhow, let me go ahead and take this loose to kind of show you how the actual platform's made. Now under here, let me hit my cam strap. It'll take me just a second to get this loose. Undo the seat there. I can slide this forward. Hopefully I won't have to put the camera down. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about there. Got the cam strap underneath it. So I have a better look. So I can reach under the front of it. There we go. Now see, that strap's loose. So what you gotta do, and see, comes right loose. Sorry I can't zoom out much more, this camera won't let me. But anyhow, the platform itself is pretty basic. It's just a couple of maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch boards. I think these are actually bookshelf planks that I was using. But anyhow, they're 6 inches wide. Took 2 of them. And on this front one, I cut them the width of the boat. Actually, they're a little tight, which I like because I didn't want them scooting side to side. I cut them, and every boat's going to be different. We've had this discussion with the new Max seat, and it's kind of differences between boats, how people handle them, how they're made, even what environment they're sitting in as far as the width of the boat being affected by that. So But anyhow, measure your boat, cut them to the width of that, maybe leave it a little snug. But anyhow, let me pull it out here, if I can get it worked out. There we go. Now you'll see on this front board, I've got another board screwed to it, like that. That gives it a little bit extra stiffness or rigidity. I'm a big guy, so I kind of like having that little extra bit there. And see, it's wide enough that it's kind of fits under that back board there. I made this a two-piece design, number one, because you've only got a certain amount of space to kind of get that board worked in there to kind of get in the track. See, this other board just comes loose. It's also handy because if I decide I get out somewhere and maybe I'm just not feeling it, the stability or whatever that day, I can take that out, stick it in the front of my boat and go, put the seat back in the low position, no big deal. You guys with the new fancy Max seat don't have to worry about that. You can just drop the seat and go. This, you know, kind of my own little ingenuity, I guess. But that's basically it. And reassembly goes the same way. And you can actually make it a little bit higher if you want to, just by flipping this board over and putting the lower piece on top. It's really not going to matter too much. It'll make it about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch higher. But you know, it works pretty good. But like I said, I'm just going to an elevated seat because I don't really need to go back and forth. And then I may go back to the Max seat whenever the money's saved up, and you know, if I decide it's worth it. I'm going to try it out on somebody else's boat first and see how it goes. But that's basically it. And you know, see what you can come up with, and somebody else may be able to do it better than me, I'm sure. But worked for me. It was cheap. I had the wood laying around, so try it and see how it works for you. Thanks.